Thanks for tuning in to Women Who Open Doors, a podcast dedicated to lifting the voices of incredible women in our communities who not only excel in their careers, but inspire us through their actions for others. Hi, I'm Julie Collins, owner and coach of Not Magic, and it's my honor to help share the stories of these remarkable women. So without further ado, welcome to Women Who Open Doors. Welcome to Women Who Open Doors. I'm really excited today to have with me Terry Tuttle. And let me tell you a little bit about Terry Tuttle. Terry Tuttle is president of HellermannTyton North America and has been with the organization for over 30 years, advancing in communications, marketing, and sales roles until her recent position, which she has held since 2017. Tuttle also serves on the board of the Girl Scouts of Southeastern Wisconsin and on an advisory council for the Federal Reserve of Chicago. She speaks and participates in initiatives and events furthering manufacturing, leadership, and supports employee-driven initiatives serving the community. And she's also a proud mom and a proud wife, mom of a daughter who is a junior at Divine Savior Holy Angels. So welcome, Terry. Thanks for joining us today.
Well, thanks, Julie, and thanks for that intro.
Yeah, beautiful intro. I wanted to start today, Terry. We can go into your background and your leadership, but, Women Who Open Doors is really all about helping advance women initiatives and inspiring women and girls. So I wanted to talk to you first about the Girl Scouts. And since we're in March, and it's such a big Girl Scout cookie month, I am curious what the favorite cookie of you and the family is.
Well, I think it depends who you ask. So definitely Thin Mints for my daughter. My husband, well, he likes them all, to be honest. And I like the peanut butter sandwich, and not as many people go for those, but I like them all.
Yeah, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about your work with the Girl Scouts and all of the initiatives you've been involved in with them.
Well, I chose to participate on the board because I believe in developing girls into women who have courage, confidence, and character. And that is the mission of the Girl Scouts. And my own daughter was a Girl Scout, and I looked at all the adventurous and exciting things she did. And now that she's older, she's 17, I said, do you think Girl Scouts helped you develop this? She said, 100%, absolutely. And it isn't that they're thinking, wow, I'm 8 years old and developing courage, confidence, and character. Instead, they're doing these daring things. It never occurs to them that they can't. And then I see the result in how they approach life. And to me, it's very important. And it's a wonderful organization. My husband and I were delighted to be the co-chairs of Celebrate the Promise, their big fundraising dinner. And by the way, that's coming up June 1st at Discovery World, if anyone is interested. But to me, it's really important that employers see that if you invest early in any journey, you will see the byproduct of that. If you have gender diversity or you want to bring strong women into your organization, invest early and see the results of that. And that is important to me.
Yeah, I love that. Did you do any of those fun activities with your daughter? Do you remember when you
Yes. The mother's love, because I'm not a natural outdoor person and camper, but I was a chaperone for it all. Dude ranches, outdoor camping, and we had a blast. And it was, it was a special time.
Yeah, my daughter too. Just for a couple of years, she didn't stay in the whole time, but I loved. We did the Cookie Mom. That's why I asked you the cookies. Oh, wow. Lots of cookies in the house, right, at one time. So it really is a great organization.
Well, you have a special place then, because being a Cookie Mom is it's like a mini distribution center in your home.
Well, a little crazy sometimes, people would say, but that's okay. Well, that's fabulous. So tell us a little bit more about that event, just so we can understand. So the event in June.
It's June 1st at Discovery World. You can go to GSY's gswise.com and find out more information, or contact me, LinkedIn, what have you, and we will get you hooked up either as a sponsor, participant, silent auction donor. We would love it all. And like I said, it's a really impactful event too. When you hear about the things that these girls are doing to change the world, you will be awestruck.
Yeah, that's fabulous. All right. Well, we will look for the information. Thanks so much for sharing that with us. So tell us a little bit about your journey, through manufacturing, and obviously in leadership roles, especially in this, manufacturing is such a non-traditional role for women to be in. So tell us just a little bit about the journey for you.
Okay. Well, I think I've come to realize through reflection how I was meant to be in this industry instead of knowing it and driving it forward. So for me, I graduated from UWM with my master's in communication. I went to Augustana College for my bachelor's degree, and that was a very transformational time for me. It's a wonderful school. And it was my first job, but I was very inquisitive, and I dabbled in a lot of different things. I worked at Channel 6 part-time. I did theater. I was interested in a lot of different things, but this company suited me. I thought to myself, oh, I'll leave after a year. It was much smaller, and at least I have my first job, but I loved it. And now I've come to realize how important culture is into an organization. I didn't think of culture way back when I was in my 20s, but where it fit my personality is entrepreneurial, a lack of bureaucracy, which I love, and you could see the impact of your work. You have a great idea, let's do it. And 10 years into it, I realized, I think this is something I really want to focus upon. I didn't think, oh, I want to be president, but I want to advance. So I went through different sales and marketing roles, sat on the executive leadership team, and became the right person to lead the company, which I started in 2017. But I love manufacturing. You make something. You have the best functional departments, HR, marketing, sales, finance, and it all contributes to a wonderful career.
So you brought up the entrepreneurial culture, and I really wanted to focus on talking about culture with you because you bring that up in a lot of, we did some research on you. You bring that up a lot, and I love that about you and about the way that you lead. So talk to us about, in a really large organization, how do you maintain that entrepreneurial culture? How do you help foster that?
Well, first of all, we have to put process in place to scale. But we're very mindful of not over processing, because if we didn't put some process into place, and it would frustrate everybody, and has, frankly, at times. And now we say, okay, we're going to put a little more process, more project management into the organization, so you can feel satisfaction that your project is going to get done. But it's a spirit in some ways. We have something called aptitudes in the organization. And part of it is feed that creative spirit into something that's going to deliver results. And there can be moments of discovery, a time period of discovery, but ultimately it needs to turn into a result. But it's the very notion of, hey, I have this idea. Yes, that's great. Do it. Now, if it's complex, okay, we have to look at work streams and project management, but we thrive off of our employees' ideas, we recognize them, and we appreciate them. And yesterday we had our parent company in, and doing the presentation, the corporate presentation. Organizations often say, oh, our people, they're the ones that are important. And I said, just wait till you go through today and you tell me what you think. And we had people not familiar with the organization stopping me to say, this was the best manufacturing plant I've ever been in. And your people, They're so knowledgeable and they like working here, and they're such experts, and I couldn't agree more. And so we value and appreciate them.
That's awesome. What a compliment. Congratulations. That's
Well,
you can really tell on tours when you go in manufacturing, not just the shop, but the office, the environment. It can really kind of describe who you are as a company.
right.
So I'm glad that was that was recognized for you.
Mm-hmm.
What are the stumbling blocks to get there? Like, what are the ways that, maybe you've tried and it didn't work in terms of culture, and then you would try again, right? Continuous improvement. What are some of the things in that journey to really kind of foster that culture that maybe you've tried before?
I think that we are excellent communicators, and we would have managers meetings, and then the managers were supposed to be communicating to their departments, and we would get feedback that there's not enough communication from management or even executive leadership. And I would pull my hair out thinking, oh my gosh, we communicate more than anybody that I think I know. So
Right.
2 years ago, we took out, or was it 1 year ago? We took out the middleman. We took out the managers from some of the communication, and we have monthly town halls where everybody in North America is encouraged to join. We are very transparent. Here's where our results are. Here's what's going well. Here's what we need to pay attention to. And then we profile different departments, and we call it aptitudes in action. So which aptitude is your department living? How? What are some successes? And gives everybody a little bit more in-depth look to the functions and contributions of each department. And then we talk about some sales success stories, because people are working, but sometimes they don't hear exactly why their work is so important.
Mm-hmm. I love that, because connecting to the customers does make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it's super important. Describe what you did this morning before we got on. You were talking about how you were up bright and early, right? And 6 a.m. So talk us through that process, because I find what you did this morning really interesting too.
Mm-hmm. So at our manufacturing plant, which is separate from our corporate headquarters here, it's just a couple of miles away, but management, myself, we regularly walk the floor. We engage with employees and tell them individually how important their work is. But what we did is we set up about 10 stations with product managers, marketing managers, manning them this morning. And we are having every shift walk through so they can see the importance of their work, where the applications are, advancements that we're making, and the customers that we sell to, which are the top industrial customers in the world. And for their faces to shine with some recognition, I didn't know that our products went there. And they feel the circular notion of their work, and they realize, I said, you're really important, and our products are really important to the customers we serve. And we're a component manufacturer. So sometimes when you tell your neighbor I'm with HellermannTyton, they don't get it because they don't work at one of these companies. But know that everything we do is very important to them. We're well known, and top quality matters.
That's cool. That's great. Perfect. Tell us a little bit more about, just for you personally, what has energized you in this work? Being there for 30 years, right? That's kind of not the norm anymore, but tell us a little bit more about really what energizes you about the work that you do.
Many things. I love going to visit our customers. Sometimes they're not always for the best reason. Sometimes they want to talk to you about an issue, but the way we work through issues makes them more loyal, because we're very responsive. We understand their needs. We can put ourselves into their shoes, and then we fix it. Most times it is talking about different opportunities, and I love it. I love our customers. I love talking to different employees and learning about their lives, and knowing that with every great result and every year we outperform our plan. in North America. And by doing that, the thing that gives me the greatest joy is that due to our bonus programs, that our employees will receive more of a bonus because of it. And then I think to myself, great, now we can add more people and we can add more capability to our organization. So that really charges me. I love new ideas and I love to sit in on brainstorming. And, not everything flies, but we have really productive brainstorming sessions on different topics. And that also gives me a charge.
Well, just like what you described in terms of the response to the customer, that's very entrepreneurial too, because you can get in large organizations and it takes time to solve the problem or non-responsive. So that just embodies that culture as well.
Yep, it sure does. And our employees are very loyal. In our markets, it can be not always, thankfully, but you can get a call on a Saturday morning or we call it Friday at 4:15, and everyone's on it. And I know I can count on them, and they can count on me.
Yeah. When you think of, women in manufacturing, talk to me a little bit about that from your perspective, in terms of, what that means and how you see women, flourishing now, versus maybe not that it wasn't as much, but really talk about how you see women in manufacturing today versus in prior when you first started.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's hard to say. At HellermannTyton, we've always had this ecosystem where it didn't matter what gender you were, it mattered what you contributed. And I think that's evident by me being president of this organization. But, bringing people in and bringing women in, realizing that you can excel in your functional area is really important. And not all of it is, some people are very STEM related, some are not. That's great. Come on board. You want to be the best talent acquisition person? Come on in. And here is the thread. Are you inquisitive? And do you have a down to earth but professional demeanor? The career opportunities are endless. And it is a mission of mine to expose more girls, more women to manufacturing. And I'm working with different schools so that we can host that are more women oriented. My daughter's high school would be one, for example, and some others in town, to bring girls in here so they can get firsthand experience into what it is like to work for a manufacturer. And we want that to spread.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thanks for doing that. Tell me a little bit more too, just about for your own personal journey, maybe some of the, I hate to call them barriers, but some of the things that you had to overcome, to kind of move. I know you're very inquisitive. You bring that up, you connect dots, but what are some of the things where you kind of felt like, okay, I that's a barrier I have to get around, or I have to do something differently about that. Did you experience any of that?
Oh, for sure. I mean, to gloss over it and say, oh, it was easy.
Right.
A woman in manufacturing 30 years ago. Sometimes it didn't matter. And sometimes you would feel marginalized. A bunch of guys standing around and excluding you. Or actually, I was thinking about it this morning. I had one guy who used to work here say to me, I don't know how that would be, a guy reporting to a woman. And I was like, it'll be okay.
Let's try it.
Yeah. And so things like that.
Yeah.
Things where, you might be treated in that gender stereotype way and get frustrated. But I had good mentors. Yeah, I would be very upset. And but my former boss and actually the former CEO of the company or my husband, they would offer me some perspective because it would just flatten me. You're doing your best and you're being productive, and someone can cut you to a shred or marginalize you just on your gender, but you have to. And I tell women this, you have to pick yourself up and be tough and face those tough moments and succeed beyond them, because I hear too much talk of, oh, this was hard for me and this is gender discrimination. And sometimes you just have to be tough and you will be okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that.
Mhm.
And I also love that you brought up, a couple other men around you and even your husband,
Oh, yeah.
because I do think it does take the village and not just women to help move us. We need the allies as well. So I've always said this is not about male bashing. It's
Mhm.
about really creating awareness, but also we all have allies that have helped us move.
Yes.
So talk to me a little bit more about those allies, even your husband and such.
My husband has been wonderful, and he always thought I could do whatever I wanted to do, and we've always shared duties and have been great partners. So it was never a stereotypical role, and that would never have suited me. And I respect any woman in any job that she's doing, whether it's at home or at work. But for me, that wasn't the right choice. And I never would have married someone who thought that that's what I should be doing, something that I wasn't interested in doing as a full-time career. My former boss would mentor me regarding different situations, different hardships. And he was the one who really fostered, you're going to have to be tough and stand up to these people. I can't go around and prescribe behavior for every single person. And again, that was a longer time ago. And then our CEO always believed in me, our former CEO and current, but our former CEO always believed in me and thought I could do the job and put me through the paces on purpose, just to make sure that I could stand up to what is needed for this role.
I do think there is, people believing in you, like you said. I think that's a huge aspect of it. And then also just believing in yourself, right? Believing that, this is possible for me. That helps get you up on those times that you're beat down a bit.
And they thought about it before I even thought about it. So I think that's interesting. And it really helps to have the confidence of others in order to help you succeed.
Talk to me about your daughter. We have daughters kind of not exactly the same age, but they're older now. So, but talk to me about the discussions you have with your daughter, and especially with you being in this position. Talk to me about those discussions that you have with her and her take on it from her perspective.
Well, I think she's very proud. We, most of our discussions are just like any other mother-daughter discussion, but she loves this company. She sees what I do. And I tell her, you don't have to be this. If you want to be the best stay-at-home mom that you can be, you should. If you want to, if you want to be in manufacturing, that's great. If you want to be in something else, super. Just try your hardest and do your best. And I think our latest dialogue is about keep trying for things. And if you don't make it or people tell you no, the most successful people I know have been told multiple times, and they keep at it and then they succeed. So it's about that persistence, and it's about believing in yourself. And you can't control results when other people hold the cards, but all you can do is put your best foot forward and keep trying. And so those are our latest conversations. And I'm really, really proud of her for doing what she does. She's involved in a lot of things, and she goes for things. Sometimes they don't work out. And she has a healthier attitude about it than I think even I would. So I'm super proud of her.
That's great. Congratulations. What's her name, by the way?
Her name is Maggie.
All right. Well, shout out to Maggie.
Yes. She's a good friend to her friends. She's just a wonderful human being.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, just tell us a little bit more too, when you do have those girls in and you're telling, from, say they come in from DSHA, give them, what's the advice, I guess? What's the advice that you give to them about either just getting in manufacturing or, keeping them and their spirits up? What's the advice that you give?
Well, what I will give and what I have done in terms of just coaching any young woman is that follow your interests. It's going to be hard. Any success in life can be difficult, but don't let that overtake what you can be. Come in and don't think, manufacturing is, not glamorous, because it is. When I go to and my daughter knows as well, the customers that I go to and visit, we are incredibly lucky that we serve them, and we're at the top customers, like I said, in industry. And that if your passion is graphic design or web design or digital marketing, do it in manufacturing. It's not every functional area can flourish in a good manufacturer.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. So Terry, you're outstanding community partner, leading an organization, proud mom, wife. What do you do for fun? What do you do?
Well, I am very grateful to have some great friends. And I always look at my life in terms of a pie, of course, food related, where one slice is work, one slice is family, one slice is friends, and then a little slice for other things. And, depending on the day, the pieces of the pie on those areas might get larger or smaller. But I have wonderful friends. I love bike riding. I like being outdoors. I like baking. I like my book club. So I'm very fortunate to have a very fulfilling life.
That's awesome. What's on the nightstand that you're reading right now?
Lessons in Chemistry. And it is a fabulous book so far. Okay. I don't know. I'm only about halfway through.
That's okay.
As I talk to people and they want to tell me the end. No, not yet. I think Bonnie Garmis is the author, but I hope I'm correct. And I am absolutely loving it. It's really the personification of everything we've talked about today in terms of stumbling blocks back in the 1950s, professional chemist, and what she had to encounter. And it's mind-boggling. It is absolutely mind-boggling to think how far we've come as a country and as women in the professional sphere.
Yeah. Well, I'm proud to be a woman. We have our challenges, but we all seem to come through in glowing reviews.
Yeah.
So good. Well, thank you so much, Terry. I know you mentioned earlier that people can find you on LinkedIn, especially if they want to give back to the Girl Scouts, or if they even want to give you a shout out. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, and congratulations to you and your business and all the good things that you're doing.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we have. Are there inspirational women leaders in your life? Recommend them for this podcast by emailing me at jcollins@knot-magic.com and telling me why they're the perfect person to be featured. And please leave us a review on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts to help us share these amazing women with others.